Alright, good evening everybody. I'm used to doing this on a Wednesday, but we're going to go back 24 hours and do it on a Tuesday. Dan and Joel are not available. They have missed their flights to Albert Park, but me and Thomas have not, and I am delighted to welcome him in the commentary box. It's been quite a bit before we've done a commentary together, and I'm so happy he's in the box with me. Hello Thomas, how are you doing?
Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I definitely didn't miss my flight. Was here yesterday as well in the lovely commentary box. So yeah, good to be back. 2 days in a row. You'll absolutely love to see it.
You was in the commentary box with Lewis yesterday, per weekly on an EU3 basis. We saw an EU3 pole time of a 1 minute 19.173. I thought I was good at Formula 1, and then I noticed I get top 6. In EU3. Either that's me being really bad or shows the great standards of EU3. I think it's the second option, and we can now see the great standards of EU2, Thomas.
Oh yeah, 100%. Some very quick guys in here. Some people that I commentated on last season with the likes of Snipes, Matty and Ricky from EU3 last season. They are putting in a really strong performance this season once again. The likes of Tichy, of course, Lewis, Cavey is back in the Red Bull. 30 Tom is having a really strong season as well. Some big names, some quick drivers, and it's definitely going to be a very interesting race once again.
Albert Park, we all know the circuit very well. First one of most calendars in Formula 1 history, apart from 2021 of course, where it's at the end of a calendar. 5.3 kilometres, 29 laps, the full race distance 58. And the race distance 153 and a bit kilometres. 2 DRS zones, 3 DRS zones, even though the website says 2. Down to 1, down to 3, and down to 13. We have that high speed chicane, Thomas, that you said we had some EU3 drivers flying off yesterday.
Yeah, I think we saw at least 5 people crashing there. We had, I believe it was K-Mark in qualifying already, or at least a Renault who crashed in qualifying, and then a few people in the race. I know Robert crashed at it. Steve lost it but didn't retire. So yeah, definitely a corner to keep your eye on, because people are going to lose the car there, especially when they're pushing.
Now you're having to apply a different skill tonight, Thomas. You're having to apply analysis instead of play-by-play, which you do in a EU3. So I tried to do analysis. I can't remember which tier it was for. It was a few weeks ago, and I really struggled to do it. You either have it or you don't, and I definitely don't. So,
yeah, I'm
going
to do my best.
I hope so, because I have not. Honestly, I like. There's 2 different types of commentary. You know, you have your play-by-play where you're able to tell a story for the fans, and then you have the analysis of why you do it. I mean, Jack Prentice is superb at it. I did endurance with Stumpy. I've never done a commentary with Stumpy before. I had no idea how it was going to go, and he was incredible. I mean, we were non-stop talking for 70 laps of Hungary. So yeah, just hello to everyone in the stream as well. Just to let you know, commentary is very hard.
It is. Don't underestimate it.
If we sound good, it's because we are good. Hello everybody. Please, of course, send in your predictions after the qualifying session. We have EU1 tomorrow. That's going to be juicy. But EU2, in terms of on-track action, maybe even juicier. EU1 extremely clean, of course. And EU3 have their 2 safety cars and 2 VSCs, you said, Thomas, last night. So that's if that's a sign of things to come this week, I'm all down.
Oh yeah, 100%. Those safety cars actually made the race very interesting. It made sure that it stayed really close for pretty much the full 29 laps.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we can get something like that, then it would be very interesting. Although I don't think this tier really needs a safety car, as it's already very challenging, very competitive. So yeah, we just have to wait and see. Looking at those quality times, it's not looking like quite competitive at the moment, but I'm sure that when people are going to get their final laps in, it will be a very close grid.
It is quite worrying that on the first batch laps, you've got time for 3 the pole sitter has already gone quicker than EU3 pole last night, and that's probably a warm-up lap. Tom said, wait, can I call you Tom or Thomas?
100%, mate. You can
Okay,
call whatever you want.
I mean, I've known the guy for quite a while, but I've never known if he likes Tom or not, because I know a Thomas who hates Tom. The time 1 minute 19, 1:24 at the moment. I was going to quote some of the driver championship and constructors, but unfortunately it has not been updated, so hopefully I can push the admins and get it updated for next week when Dan and Joel return. Let's find a car for you, Thomas, because I know you're really good at your track walkarounds, like the Instagram laps that are on there. 2 cars coming around the final corner there, coming in. Can we go on board with Matrix, Thomas? He's heading down to turn 13, about to go on a lap. And for the viewers, if they haven't seen the Instagram stuff and social media, could you kindly take us on a lap of Albert Park?
100% with absolute pleasure.
I'll
So,
hide the standings.
Matrix, yes, he is going to start his lap. Okay, it's important to get a good exit, as this will be the first DRS straight from the 3 we have around here. Absolutely lovely track. Going into turn 1, really easy to lock up the tires as Matrix did there, and running wide coming out of turn 2, so make sure you don't do that because it will invalidate your lap time. Second DRS straight going into turn 3, once again really easy to lock up the tires, but he gets it done nicely. Then a quick left right-hander turn 4 and turn 5. You don't want to clip the curb on the right hand side because that will lose you the car. Matrix almost showed it at the end of sector 1, going into turn 6 and turn 7, the first chicane out of 3 as Matrix puts it in ERS mode, so we still finish the lap. Going into the second chicane, this is where you can either take a lot of the curb, which Matrix does here, or you want to completely avoid it. But important is to get a good exit for the second straight. It's not really straight, but you can go flat out. Then the mighty turn 11 and turn 12, where we will be seeing a lot of yellow flags, if I can predict. So second DRS straight around here, or third DRS straight actually, going into the double right-hander, where it's gonna be very hard to overtake, so we'll probably be seeing cars lining it up for the start-finish straight. Left-hander with the pit entry on the right-hand side, and then the last corner which we saw before. That's a lap around Australia, and hopefully for Matrix it can do a better job when he goes out for the second time.
Thank you. Purple sector 1, 26.125 by the pole sitter at the moment. Sector 2, 21.455. We have TAS available and we will be using it. Snipes has gone 200ths quicker in sector number 1. Maybe Thomas, if you go on board with Snipes now, maybe try and go through what you think, because he's on. Oh, he's just had a snap of oversteer out of that chicane. By the way, next season that won't be a chicane. We go all the way from turn 6 to this chicane flat next year with the new Melbourne layout, and I think Snipes might have messed that up, Thomas. I don't know if you saw his snap out of that chicane of 9 and 10.
Yeah, I think I saw that he was 200ths up through sector 2, so he's not gonna improve by much unless his sector 3 is gonna be really good. He is lining it up great, which is gonna provide.
Oh no, don't tire, Snipes!
Days. I wanted to say we're gonna provide him a good exit, but then he lost it, and he's done exactly what IFR Golden did during the race yesterday, being too eager on the throttle and losing it on the curb, and that's your qualifying and tires done.
How close can you get without retiring a car? That has been answered. Ricciardo has set the fastest final sector of anyone, 31.4, tenth quicker than anyone on that grid so far. Excuse me, and he puts his car into second, 800ths behind the leader of the moment, TRT Tom Rubbo, the championship leader before last week. I don't know now. Is third place, 2 tenths behind the leader, and Timmy Wetunest, Snipes' teammate, in fourth place at the moment with 6 minutes 40 and maybe a little bit more on the clock. KV is now a permanent EU2 driver. Thomas, he found EU1 quite tricky last week, and I'm sure he can do very well in EU2 because he does have some good pace.
Yeah, 100%. He showed it 2 seasons ago when he got promoted from EU3 to EU2, and he was immediately on the pace in EU2 as well. We know KV is a very quick driver, but he's been on iRacing a lot the last couple of weeks, so that's the reason why he needs to get used to the F1 game once again. And we've had IFR Milan in the Red Bull before, and he is showing some great pace. That's why we decided to swap those two around. KV back in AU2 and Milan going up to AU1.
On board with Amir in the Haas. Amir 277. He's in P7 at the moment. A lot of sevens there as he comes through the chicane of 9 and 10. He's on a 20.035 at the moment. Looking at the leader gap, he's not got too much work to do. 3 attempts will get him into the top 4. He's taking that chicane and invalidates on the second part.
Yep, was trying to cut it by a little bit too much, and it's harsh. the penalties are harsh around here. We saw it yesterday with only Jay Prentice and Jacek not picking up penalties. The rest of the grid all picked up a penalty. So that shows how easy it is to pick up a warning and how easy it is to get those 3 seconds added onto your name. And there it is, the mighty wizard joining the lobby. So he will be here at least for the race. And I'm not quite sure if he is able to join in through qualifying, but that's some brilliant news.
It is. It's 4:50 on the clock. You can get out with probably about 2:10, 2:15 latest to get that lap in, as long as you don't get into traffic. Penalties from last week was a racing incident between Wizard and Racer, and a penalty point for someone clicking the pressing X too early, and Perez has got a quali ban, hence why he is not racing. Other than that, looks pretty clean. Every single driver apart from 2 in the pits, and one of them's on a fast lap either now or he's just put it in. Thomas, he might have just put it in actually, I'm not too sure.
Well, Matrix is just put it in. He is now up into P6 with a 119.8, and I'm not quite sure what Tichy is doing. He is lining it up now, so he is about to start his, well, hopefully be for him his first lap time, and probably be his last one. Well, no, he's still got time, I think. It will be tight, but I think after this one he should be able to get in another lap. If he invalidates now, then he will definitely have enough time to get back in, but it's looking like a good start. He used all of the curb. Four.
26-1, the fastest at the moment, so that's a bit off. Where's the yeah, so 3 minutes 6 on the clock. Everyone's I'm sure about to be on their way out. Wizard left the session. He's been given another invite to try and get in. He's been having issues all night. We believe it's with Thomas, but we also swapped the host, so not too sure. But unfortunately, he can't get in at the moment, so maybe a missed week for the Wizard Meister. As
Tichy running in deep, losing the car. Yeah, that was not it. But he needs to hurry up now, because otherwise it's gonna be qualifying over.
Yeah, he's gonna just try
what is
again.
He doing?
I don't think he could have got in though, because Alpha Male is right at the end of the pit lane. But
Wizard is in.
Oh, he is in. What I'm gonna do quickly is send him one more invite, just in case. And what I am going to do is keep my eye on TAS for purple stuff. Because purple stuff in Formula 1 in the game doesn't actually represent much from the bottom people. Might say you're going purple when you're not. But TAS is normally pretty spot on board with Thomas in the AlphaTauri, heading down to turn number 3. Lights out in Albert Park is always a mess. I don't think there's been... Oh, he's gone wide at turn 4, turn 5 now, and that is that lap done. I hope he's got an extra lap of fuel to do another run. Looking at the wheel, it says it's got 2 laps left, so maybe he just put some fuel in to allow him to do another lap. Here comes Albi Moreno taking the fast chicane, one of the fastest chicanes in the calendar, and one of the most exciting. A little bit easier in these cars than last year's cars, but we still see people slip, and he's coming down to turn 14 now, Thomas, in his Renault car.
Yep, he was 3 tenths up at the end of sector 2, so we're looking to maybe seeing a Renault inside the top 3 if he can push, otherwise it will be 4th place. How good has his sector 3 been? Arba goes onto the line and he puts in a 119.5 P4 it is, and I think he will be happy with that one.
Yeah, you'll see me flicking through the names, everybody, as quick as I can. So try and keep up. AlphaTauri next across the line. Could be Thomas. He's invalidated, of course, but he has passed the checker flag in time and can continue. Stumpy is crossing the line to start his lap now, and Timmy and Snipes on their outlaps. AlphaTauri to cross the line next is Tom Hubble. That's an outlap as well. So people, there is a McLaren just at turn 13 now at the end of the...
Yes. Saige is coming on to the start-finish straight now, and he is about to end his lap. What is Saige gonna put in? Currently in P12, and it remains P12. He's not gonna improve. He's down by 300ths of a second.
Yep, that's his teammate going across the line to start. He's like KV goes 4th fastest. There's a Renault getting out of the way at the final corner. It's Matti Robbo, I believe, on the second to last corner in his Williams car. Now what can Matti do? He's understeering all the way through that final corner. He's going to cross the line. Can he get into the top 6 maybe? It's only 10th for Matti Robbo.
Here comes Lewis through the final corner, my fellow commentator for EU3 onto the line. It is P14, 120.2. He won't be happy with that one, and I think his teammate is the next one to come across the line.
Yeah, YZ Boy 12 Racing Point crosses line, was 11th, now 7th fastest. Haas driver Amir can't go any quicker than 10th.
Ricky improves, puts in a fast lap time, 119.0. Is Snipes gonna improve? He goes onto the line now. He's down by 800ths of a second through sector 2. Is he gonna improve for sector 3? Yes, he is. He dips into the 118.
What about Tom Robbo? Can he beat him? Negative. Half a tenth off Ricciardo. Next one to cross the line. Timmy where to next? Can he break into the top 6? Only. No, it is 6th fastest for him. Mercedes next of Spygate, but I think he's backed up. It's not Spygate, so it's Jamie who's on his official lap, but he's had to back out because he's invalidated. KV's going to go into a pits, Thomas, and I think that's it, mate.
Yep, that is it. And look how close it is at the top. The top 3 is well separated from the rest of the field, but those 3, I can't predict what the order is going to be for that podium. Look how close that is. Oh my days.
I mean, that just, concurs or defers, whatever you want to use. Top 3 in the championship: Tom Robbo, Ricciardo, and Snipes. Top 3 in this session. Not in that order though. It's a flipped order, completely flipped actually. So Tom Robbo is first, or was first before Bahrain. Then it was Ricky, then it was Snipes. Tonight, Snipes has got the edge on pole. His car sits, 2-3 meters ahead of Ricciardo in the race down to turn 1. It's not a very long rundown at all to turn 1, but it's so tight, as we saw Joel last night in EU3 have an incident with a car. Well, I think he was on the inside, touched it, and he was spun round. Connor was spun round. 2 of the top 3 were in the bottom 2, and that is what happens at this circuit.
Yeah, it was really so. There was a voice crack. Oh my days. Yeah, it was a very tight and chaotic start yesterday in EU3. Hopefully for the EU2 drivers, they can keep it a little bit cleaner this time round. But yeah, because the track is like you go into the right-hander, but then it tightens up. So all the cars were on the outside for turn 2 will have to tuck in, and because of all the cars being so close together at the start, that's gonna cause some people wing damage, people to spin, people going onto the grass, and with that straight coming up you want to get the best exit possible, and that's gonna cause some definite chaos. Absolutely.
I got blocked after going purple in sector 1 and 2, says Bean. Oh, that's unfortunate. Of course, if you feel you was fully impeded, you know what to do. Ricky, Robbo, KV sniped DNF, says Kelster. Sniped Ricky KV. Matty KV Ricky. A lot of people rooting for a KV podium. Clarkson says Ricky Tomobo Rage. Rage isn't here, so unfortunately yours will be incorrect. A lot of people thinking KV might get a podium. Thomas, is he worthy of a podium here in Albert Park?
Well, like we saw that from qualifying, he misses a couple of tenths, but I think KV with his race pace, he can be really consistent, he can be really strong, and if those top 3 guys are starting to battle, maybe one of those guys will make an error and that will lead KV on to the podium. He only needs 1 position, so it can definitely be possible. Knowing KV, he's consistent, he knows what to do to finish the race, to finish on the podium, so he can definitely do it.
Weather looks good. So, I mean, that's something less for the drivers to worry about. And us, I guess. I mean, I have seen it go to rain in 45 minutes, but it doesn't look like it's going to. So maybe a dry Albert Park for tonight. And if I can keep up with the fast pace, it's a very high average speed circuit. I don't have the stats and statistics, but what I do have is some information from last year's Grand Prix in Formula 1. Only when Valtteri Bottas won the season open in 2019 in Australia, it was only his 4th ever win, which is crazy. 88th win for Mercedes it was, the first ever Grand Prix for Racing Point. 174th win for a Mercedes engine car, which is quite impressive. And of course the podium was a Bottas, Hamilton and Verstappen. Hopefully we can get a Hamilton and Verstappen moment from Bahrain 2021. Oh. That'd be great. And hope the car in second can actually overtake first without getting that the turbulent air or the shaky oversteer that Verstappen got out of turn 12 and 13 in Bahrain.
Lemmy, what do you think? Should Verstappen just stay in front of Hamilton?
No.
With that move?
Oh, we may not have lights glitch, everybody.
Do you say that because you're a biased Hamilton fan, or do you say that because you really think that Verstappen should give him that position
I
back?
love Hamilton. There's no denying that I do. But I love Verstappen as well, because at the moment he seems to be the only one who's able to push Hamilton all the way. Verstappen went off track limits. You can't overtake a car going off the track limits. The stewards have said that if Verstappen was to keep ahead of Hamilton, they would have given him a 10-second penalty. If there was a late safety car, which you can never have known, Verstappen would have finished last, and you can't chance that. And because what Verstappen was saying is it was going to be a 5, but it wasn't. They were going to give a 10. They said that. So yeah, he had to give the place back. He should have given the place back in a better place.
Yeah, he could have done it more strategically.
Yeah, definitely. But it was, Hamilton was excellent. Verstappen had the turbulent air. His tyres were dying, even though Hamilton's were 10 laps older. So fair play, Hamilton. Thomas, tyres.
Yep. Yeah. Good one. Matty and Thomas decided to go on to the medium. Seiker and Racer opted to go for the softs. I think Racer has been taking an example of Roland and Dan, who started on the softer tire yesterday, and Roland gained like 12 positions at the start or something, so that was insane. Stumpy and Bean both on medium, Stitchy and Paris on the hards, and Wizard on the softs as well. People are inside of that, of course, are on the softs. They will probably pit around lap 10 for hards. People on the mediums will probably go a little bit longer and then pit for hards as well, or they're gonna extend their stints to softs. People on the hards will go a very long way in this race and pit for softs at the end.
29 laps to come then. Should probably take about, no safety cars, about 42-43 minutes. A very quick average speed circuit, as I said. Last car on the grid is Wizard. Unfortunately, he wouldn't have wanted to be there. Also, his teammate wouldn't have wanted to be there, but unfortunately Perez has a quali ban that he needed to serve, and he has to serve it in Albert Park. A mix of tyres, a mix of constructors, but the top 3 unchanged in the championship and at the front of the grid at the moment. Every single car is on their grid as we get ready for Albert Park. Green flag at the back. Here we go. We've also got 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. They were held for quite a long time. Snipes get a very good start. Ricciardo not too good in the second phase, but Tom Robbo just behind him as we head into turn 1. We saw contact last night. Everyone's clean apart from a car just going wide there, and there might be a car of Perez losing some positions, and Matty Robbo's had a bit of a stinker, and Titches at the back facing the wrong way as we head into the second chicane. Snipes, Ricciardo, Tom Robbo, the top 3 haven't changed. Spygate and Racer, if that's correct, it's not correct. Then comes Wiser Boy, Amir, Codemasters has their shaky start, Thomas, but most people clear apart from Matty and Titch at the back.
Yeah, 100%. Cavey had a terrible start though. I think he got pushed wide coming out of turn 2. He's all the way at the back. He's only got 3 cars behind. Now it says he's in P16. I don't know how correct that is. I think it's slowly starting to come back on the left hand side of our screen now. Yes, there it is. So here we have it. Cavey dropped down to P15 with his teammate getting pushed onto the grass. He's now going around the outside of Bean, and I think he's getting the job done. Round the outside, yes he does, but he runs into the back of the McLaren of Wizard in front, picks up wing damage. Terrible lap 1 for Cavey so far.
2 Red Bulls, almost going wheel to wheel there as Thomas, McLaren dive bomb down the inside. Wizard from, it's not Wizard, sorry, it's Perez from the back of the grid. Wizard's done even better, he's up into 13th place. Perez has just dropped another 2. Matty's back up into 16th place. Chaotic lap 1 through Albert Park, and there is, so Wizard's up 6, Spygate's up 3. Quite a lot of position changes on the plus side, Thomas. A lot of drivers moving up at the start.
Yeah, some people are having a really good start. Arbor is doing a brilliant job to keep up with the top 3. We saw the big gap in quali pace between the top 3 and the rest of the field, but Arbor is doing a really good job to hang on. There's a 1.1 second gap to Jamie in P5. Jamie will need to push with everything he's got to make sure he's within that 1 second window the next lap, to make sure he will get DRS. He's been put under pressure by Timmy in the Ferrari behind, so let's see what Jamie can do on this lap.
Contact between Thomas and Racer as we went through turn 4, but no damage, and Racer came out behind the AlphaTauri driver. Wizard licking his lips looking for the next 2 cars right in front of him to maybe get past SMM_Bean, who apparently got blocked in quali with 2 purple sectors. He's right behind Wizard as well. That's only for P11 at the moment. Moving up through the grid, Wisey right behind the McLaren of Matrix. Ricciardo and Tom Robbo within a second of the race leader as we head round turn 14, and of course we have DRS enabled for lap 3 when we cross the line.
Yep, this is the point where we're gonna see a lot of overtakes. Thomas, you mentioned the battle with Racer. He actually picked up some wing damage, 6% on the left hand side for Thomas, so he will be dealing with some sort of understeer with all the right hand turns, so that's something to keep in mind. As I think there's a racing point that is Lewis trying to go past Thomas now, and I think he's getting
someone spun up the final corner, Thomas.
That is Stumpy, I think.
And if you want to go back to your battle, Thomas, quickly, Racer and Thomas.
Yep. Lewis defends the inside, and he gets the job done. There's Bean trying to go around the outside of Wizard, but Wizard stays in front for now. Yes, he does. Was a great attempt by Bean, but he couldn't quite make it.
Thomas! He's out of the race! And that could be a safety car because he's in the middle of the track, but all the cars have passed it, so may not. And the 2 Honda powered cars tried to go round the outside of both of their opponents at that time, and both of them failed, Thomas. One retired and one stayed behind.
Yep, that was Thomas either going wide at turn 5 or clipping the curb and going into the wall, which I talked about through qualifying. Either way, it is his race over on lap 3, and it's really unfortunate for Thomas. He had wing damage already, so it's not been his most lucky race whatsoever.
No, it hasn't. I'm not quite sure into the answer of your question. I got a good view of it. I got every part of it. I just can't remember what I looked at in terms of the bottom. All I saw was a car flying into the wall. No safety car or VSC deployed for that incident, probably because there was only 1 car that was going past. Matty Robbo was getting pretty close there to the car in front of him, which is Bean. Him and Wizard having a few battles early on. So early position changes on screen. I'll take them off now. We've had them on for quite a bit, and we'll have the tyres back on. Top 12 all on the soft compound, and then we have a mix of the medium and hard below them. Snipes retains the lead as we head round turn 6 on lap 4 of 29, with Ricciardo Tom Robbo, the top three in the championship, still very much on his case.
Yep, it is Arbanel on the edge of getting DRS on the next straight. 9.5 tenths it is now. It drops to a second again. He is pushing for everything he's worth to get back into that 1 second window. Looking at the warnings, we've got Snipes and Tom on a warning, and now Ricky picked up a warning as well through the fast chicane, so that's everyone with at least a warning. Jamie's already on 2 warnings, and there is Sygate picking up his first penalty together with Lewis, both in P10 and P11, so the penalties are slowly starting to come in as well. People are being put under pressure and the tires are slowly starting to drop off.
Yep, only Amir, Wizard and Bean without warnings in the top 13. So yeah, I mean, we've only done 4 laps, and we've got 2 drivers with official time penalties given by race control, and then we have, of course, the warnings for everyone else that Thomas mentioned. Now, is Australia going to turn into a DRS train between the top 13? Even no, actually, I mean, if we check the leader gap, Thomas, 13 seconds for the top 15. It's pretty close at the moment, but we need to see people going for it. Are we going to see some undercuts, overcuts, another yellow flag for an Alfa Romeo on the final corner again?
Yep, and that must be Tichy. Yep, that is Tichy. So it's both Alfa Romeos having a really bad time coming out of the last turn. Tichy can continue his way. I don't know if he picked up any damage. Let me check with the test system. Oh, he picked up big wing damage on the right hand side for Tichy, so he definitely needs to pit on the next lap. That's his race, his race completely over.
Wizards having some big issues, and Bean had to brake because the car looked like it was there. Now Matthew's just got a simple overtake on him down to the high-speed chicane of 11 and 12, and Bean is being so unlucky. There you go. That's the connection from Wizard. Bean stopped so he didn't hit the car that looked like it was there, and then Matty just strolled past.
Snipes is putting up the
Matrix
tempo. Ricky 7 tenths behind Matrix
checking
going
for
into the pits. Yep. No damage from Matrix. It's just a regular pit stop.
Maybe he's doing a 2-stop?
Yep, definitely 2-stop because he's pitting for mediums. So it will be a 2-stop for Matrix. This is the point now where he needs to pick up the pace. He's got some clean air in front, that's a positive. Interesting though, because he left the DRS train, so people in front of him will get DRS. He won't, he needs to do it on his own. But I think Matrix is capable of doing that.
Got a beautiful helicopter shot of the Haas car. Well, the Haas car's not beautiful, but Ricciardo's driving might be, and somehow the helicopter can keep up as we head down to 11 and 12. Now we've got to keep, and I'm going to mention that corner a lot, because all it takes is one slip, one trip, one extension of pushing that limit of the car, one extension of the curb, a slippy one, and you could be into the wall and out of the race, as we saw last night. Bean is right behind Matty Robbo, and he'll be feeling on the sarge to get that move back because of the circumstances that Matty got past. Not Matty's fault, of course, absolutely not, but Bean wasn't helped by the connection of a McLaren, that's for sure.
No, he is having some bad luck, got blocked in quali, this happened in the race, but he is fighting his way through. The problem for him is, with the DRS and DRS enabled, he puts it down. I think he's gonna wait for after turn 2. The thing is, if there's one track where you can really feel the dirty air, it's around Australia. With the fast corners, you can really feel the car just not wanting to turn in. And is he gonna go for the move now? Matty's not gonna defend the inside. Bean is gonna go for the move down the inside, and he pushes Matty White onto the grass, but he gets the job done. And Matty's probably gonna lose position to Paris, who tries to go around the outside, but he can't make it stick. Matty shuts the door, but Matty loses position, and he won't be happy with the overtake that Bean did on him. I
believe Bean was at full steering lock. Oh, Perez getting slippy out of turn 6 in his McLaren vehicle, but he managed to stabilise it, but loses some time to Matty Robbo there. But Matty also slips out of a chicane at 9 and 10. People starting to struggle. I didn't think tyre wear was a massive thing in Albert Park, but drivers starting to really struggle already on those low to medium speed exits. And here comes Perez to get past Matti Robbo. And Matti Robbo gives him a good amount of room. And Perez is up into 11th.
Ricky, first one to come into the pits from the top 3. So we need to keep an eye out for him. What tires is the Haas team gonna put on his car? I believe I see white tires. Yep, hard tires it is for Ricky. So he will be definitely going till the end of this race, and he is forcing Snipes and Tom Robbo to make a decision. Are they gonna stay out for a couple of laps, or are they covering him, trying to stop the undercut from working? I know the undercut is really strong around here. Ricky will have some great pace in case escape, he picks up 3 seconds. And Ricky will be pushing this lap to maybe try and get in front of Snipes when he makes his pit stop.
We know Ricky likes a good one stop on the hard compound. Japan, he always said, if it's an early safety car, go hard, it'll pay off. Look what Out did in EU1. It does pay off. Is it going to pay off tonight? Who knows? We've got everyone in, apart from Thomas, who had an incident on lap 3 at turn number 5, where he spun. We don't know how he spun, but he definitely did. Is Wisey Boy going to attempt to move on Timmy? No, he's not, but Emir Haas, he's going to go and try round the outside, down to turn 13, wheel-to-wheel action, and the Haas driver is through. Very nice move. Gets twitchy on the exit, but keeps that place. Not bad from the Haas driver.
And there we have it, Tom Robbo into the pits and Snipes stays out. So we now have a clear view of what the undercut is looking like. How far is Ricky gonna come out in front of Tom Robbo? If he is gonna come out in front, that's gonna be the real question. He's coming through the last corner now as Tom Robbo is leaving his pit box. And he is on full power now. Is Ricky gonna come out in front? I believe he is. Oh, it's gonna be close, but he just about gets in front.
Oh!
So I feel. Oh, and he shuts the door in front of Tom Robbo. He really had to brake there. So Ricky, he stays in front of Tom Robbo, and I don't think he is gonna get past Snipes unless those softs of Snipes are gonna drop off massively on the last lap.
It's a fair point, but Snipes has done, of course, an extra 2. So you don't know, and we'll find out, I'm sure, at the end of this lap. Or I mean, you can do a soft medium. It is absolutely plausible, but Snipes should come out behind Ricciardo and Tom, which means he'd have to do some overtaking, which is not the easiest on this circuit. We all know that.
Definitely not with Ricky, because if someone on this
sorry to cut in, Thomas. Here comes SMM Bean down to turn 13, inside this time, not the outside as we saw the Haas do. Is Racer gonna go for a cheeky switcheroo? No. And Bean is up into P4. Racer struggling now with that tyre wear.
Yep, and Snipes stayed out for another lap, so I think he is gonna do what you just said, soft medium, because otherwise he would have pitted for hards already, unless he wants much fresher hards compared to Ricky and Tom. Ricky closed in by 7/10 on the last lap, so he is definitely gonna come out in front as soon as Snipes makes his pit stop. But on what tire is Snipes gonna go on as when he makes his pit stop? That's gonna be the real question.
Yeah, and if Snipe goes to the medium compound, which of course you can push a little bit in Australia, tyre wear's not too bad. Is he gonna have the, I don't know, is he gonna give us some late entertainment in trying to get past his 2 championship rivals on a better tyre? I haven't seen Ricciardo or Tom race in a long time, but I know that they won't give up their places easy. And if you try to get past one driver, that might delay you so much to get past the next one. It's all questions that will be answered in 20 laps time. Also, it'll be answered when he enters the pits. Maybe I don't know, maybe this lap, maybe next lap. I don't know. Should we have a look at tyre wear? I mean, we've got Tass
coming into the pits.
Oh, is he coming in?
Yeah, we can actually have a look now. He is on 69%. Oh, that's funny. On the right.
So immature.
The rear left. Yeah, I'm sorry. On the rear left, and he's going on mediums. So
it's the right time.
Yep, I mean, it is the right time, definitely, and he will be much quicker than Ricky and Tom at the beginning, but he will be level on tire at the end of the race, so he needs to make them work from the beginning. There are Ricky and Tom on your screen. They are getting past. So it is Ricky now in effectively a P1, Tom in P2, and Snipes in a P3,
contact.
but he will have much more grip.
I don't think there's damage though, that's good. Perez and Racer again, Thomas. Not into the same corner as last time, but those two getting feisty. Matty Robbo is trying to get involved as well on his medium tyres. He probably knows that those softs from Racer are absolutely dead. Probably hitting the 69-70% that Snipes did in his 10 laps. Look at that. I mean, Racer can't even get out of 9 and 10. Won't have that problem next year, of course, with the new layout, but it has this problem tonight, and Matty Robbo looking to try and get past. Albeit, Matty does have a penalty. Not the only one though, and there's Matty's exit out of that chicane. And with DRS he should fly down the business centre straight, all the business buildings on the left hand side, and he gets that move done. 3-second pen for Matrix.
Yeah, if Lewis didn't know already, then he definitely knows now that it's time for him to make his first and probably last pit stop. And he...
You could get lucky with a safety car or VSC. You could get incredibly lucky. Looking all clean at the moment though. We haven't had any, have we? Apart from Thomas's slip early on.
Yeah, some slight contact between Perez and Lewis twice, but no damage for both of them. So that's all good, that's all sorted. Big winners for now. Of course, they still have to make the pit stop. Are Bean, Perez, Matty and Racer. Other than that, everyone has lost positions compared to the starting place, with KV losing 11 positions. But that was because of his accident coming out of turn 2 on lap 1.
And I think you're in for a treat, everybody, because Snipes has already closed 1.1 second in 1.5 laps. He's now in the DRS detection zone of the AlphaTauri of Tom Robbo, his championship rivals in front of him. There's also some traffic, of course, people who haven't pitted yet. Racer, Matty, Perez and Bean, which is going to bring in Snipes even closer to Tom and Ricciardo. The top 3 of the championship are going to put on some entertainment for us, and hopefully we're going to see some late overtakes, high quality defending. Even, I mean, we don't advertise wanting to see it, as we've got a yellow flag for Red Bull after a chicane. We may even see some slips, trips and falls. He's not having a good race, is it? I mean, not by his standards.
Davey's really struggling, and if he's not hurrying up, he will get disqualified. He's letting...
Is he alright?
And he's back going again.
Is he... I don't know, is he struggling with tyre temp? Maybe, I'm not too sure. He was there for a long time.
He was, yeah. I think he's probably frustrated by the fact that it's not going his way. But going back to the battle for an effective P1, this is the point where Rage is gonna struggle, because Tom, he will get DRS from Ricky in front, so it will be hard to overtake him on pure straight line speed. He needs to do it with the grip he's got, and I think he's going for the move down the inside, knowing Snipes, but he is waiting. Couldn't quite make it stick, and it will be very hard for the Ferrari driver to get past the AlphaTauri in front, and after that there is still a big challenge waiting with Ricky in front of you.
He's got to be patient. We know he's a good driver. He's got to look after the tyres where he can, and then be able to make that move. His best chance is probably down to 13 if he could get that chicane perfect. We don't see many overtakes down to turn 1. If any, we see him down to turn 3, of course. But yeah, we will see. On board with Tom Robbo's gearbox as the Ferrari of Snipes, IFR, Rage hunts him down, and we'll go on board with the Ferrari driver now and see how he's cracking on. 46% battery for the Ferrari driver, and like he said, a little bit more difficult because of course the car in front has DRS, but did he get a good exit there? How much battery is he willing to burn? Tom Robbo teases to go defensive, lockups from all 3, and this battle is gonna be crazy. Now, Snipes got a pretty good exit out of turn 4. Can he keep it flat through 5? Of course he can, but can he gain any momentum? Not yet. Is he waiting, Thomas? Is he waiting for the right opportunity? Is he trying to save the percentage for now?
Or is he gonna all of his ERS?
After you, Thomas.
Yeah, he's using his ERS down the inside, he goes and he gets the job done. He used it at a place where Tom was not expecting it, and that's exactly what Snipes needed to do. I want to say Rage Snipes, but it's IFR Snipes now. That's exactly what Snipes needed to do. He gets the job done and only one car in front, and that's gonna be for the victory in this race. Really good move from Snipes there, using his ERS absolutely perfectly, and that's how you need to overtake around here.
One car done. One to go for Snipes to take the race lead. Now, will there be a drop off later on? Will the hards become better than the slow mediums? Those mediums will be quite slow at the end. Is Snipes gonna get past Ricciardo halfway through the Grand Prix? We've entered that 15 of 29. Every point could be crucial in this championship. It's a very short season. I believe this is round 7. I could be wrong. With 4 races to go after this. And Snipes being patient. Ricky defending the inside. We're going to get a switcheroo on that medium combat of tyres. Not quite. Not enough room. Very hard for cars to go wheel to wheel without anything unnecessary happening. Azerbaijan, Mexico, Spain, and what's the other circuit left, Thomas? I always forget.
Mexico.
Mexico. Oh, he's got a good exit again, Tommy. He might go for 2 moves in the same chicane. 2 laps in a row. Down the inside. IFR Snipes gets the move on Ricciardo. Wow, what a move.
Brilliant racing by Snipes. He's done it once again. Ricky clearly didn't see how Snipes overtook Tom, because he's done exactly the same thing on Ricky, and that will provide Snipes into effectively a P1, and this is the point now where he needs to push. Those mediums at this stage in the race are much quicker compared to the hards. They will drop off quicker, so he needs to make them work before they slowly starting to close it back in. The highest amount percentage of tire for Snipes is 18%. For Ricky it is 23%, so they're slowly starting to get the same amount of tire wear, and after that those hards will be quicker and quicker, and those mediums will be getting slower and slower as he puts in the fast lap of the race. This is the point where Snipes is gonna push with everything he's got to make sure he got this victory in the bag.
It doesn't look like anyone can take a free pit stop to get a fastest lap later on, so that fastest lap point could be crucial for Mr. Snipes at the moment. We may have a 2-stopper for some drivers, so they may take the fastest lap, but Perez and Bean have been out for 15 laps. They haven't pitted just yet. Of course, Perez is probably going to pit, what did we see this off do, 10 laps, so maybe 19, 18 for Perez and Bean. A VSC or safety car any time in the next 2 or 3 laps would help them a bunch. Leader gap on screen, we've got 5.4 seconds for the top 5, of course. Then it dips down a little bit. Timmy and Wisey Boy within 3/10 of each other. Let's go on board with that for a little bit, because we've seen a lot of the top action. It's probably going to stay the same for a little bit, unless Tom Rubbo fancies a move on Ricciardo at some point, Thomas, which we can't count that out of the question either.
No, definitely not, because Ricky is now outside of the 1 second winner, so he won't be getting DRS on the start finish straight after turn 2. So this could be an overtaking possibility for Tom, although he knows that as long as he stays behind Ricky and Snipes doesn't get away too far, he will still have a chance to win. If they start to battle and Rage Snipes can pull away by enough, then it will be victory out of the window. So he needs to be careful. He needs to think about what he's doing, because otherwise it will be victory gone for Tom and Ricky.
Pretty entertaining race so far, everybody. We've got wheel-to-wheel action between, well, it was wheel-to-wheel between Matrix and Jamie. I'm not quite sure who was ahead of who, but Jamie is behind now. So can he, with his 6-lap newer mediums? If that's true, he did 11 laps on the softs, which is a pretty good effort. We saw 10 laps get to 70%, so yeah, his mediums will be pretty fresh, Jamie, and he hasn't got a penalty. He would need a safety car though, wouldn't he, to catch up to Kraft, Tom and Ricciardo, who are like 7, 8, 9 seconds in front.
Yeah, because the gap from Arbor to Tom is 7 seconds. He can close into Arbor and get P6. Perez and Bean will both make their pit stop, so that will promote them up into P4. But it all depends on how quick Bean and Perez are going to be on their fresh set of tires, because maybe they can close in to the likes of Matrix and Jamie themselves. Perez is into the pits, talking about him, and he's
Yeah.
going on to mediums. Okay, fair enough. So he is not going to be as quick as I expected, and as I think Bean is just going to push on until he can get onto those shots.
I think Jamie's eyeing up a move on Matrix. He was looking for turn 1, but he's going to look for turn 3 as we head now down there. Matrix is probably going to cover the inside. Can't change that line. Is Jamie going to go right the outside in his Mercedes vehicle? Matrix does well, puts his car in a very good position, and Jamie couldn't quite get round the outside, and Matrix stays ahead of him at the moment. Not a bad race from Matrix so far, but he has got a penalty. If there was to be a late safety car, which is definitely not out of the question here in Melbourne, that penalty might make him suffer just a little bit. But he's not the only one, is he, Thomas? About half the grid have got one.
Yeah, half of the grid. I mentioned it at the start. We saw EU3 yesterday with only 2 people, Jay Prentice and Jacek, not picking up a penalty. So I'm expecting people, especially with a couple of laps to go, to pick up a penalty. Matrix is on 12 lap old mediums though, as Jamie is gonna go for the move down the inside. He goes with the DRS, he should be able to get the job done, or is Matrix gonna hold it on round the outside? No, he can't. Jamie with a good overtake that promotes him up into P6, but Matrix on 12 lap old mediums, I think he still needs to make another pit stop, because that is not gonna work. We mentioned him going onto the 2-stop, and there he goes. He was probably waiting for Jamie to get past, and Matrix will pit for a fresh set of, I wanted to say mediums, but there's Bean going on to softs. Is Matrix gonna do the same? Yes, he is. Softs for Matrix as well, so both Bean and Matrix now on fresh softs.
Penalties on screen. Timmy is on 11 seconds of penalties. Everyone else on 3 apart from Racer and KV, who are on 6 seconds. Not the race KV and Wizard would have wanted. 1 minute and 9 seconds behind Stumpy. I think there's been an overtake at the bottom. Nope, that's just Matrix coming out the pits on a fresh batch of soft compound red stripe tyres. Should help him push, but he's only 1.6 from Spygate, which is fine, but then Spygate's 9.2 off 12th place. So that's going to be quite tricky for Matrix to get back up into the points. He's got 11 laps to do anything he can. Racer is taking this lap to go down the inside on Matty Robbo into 9 and 10, and he is ahead of the Williams.
Good move by Lewis. Having a look at the times now. Ricky, he was 2 tenths slower than Rage on the last lap.
Oh, block from the McLaren of Perez on Bean. I have to check the end plate because that was a pretty hard touch. Bean looked like Perez looked like he left the gap. Bean tried to sneak it down the inside, and the McLaren shut him off pretty harshly, to be fair. And Bean is now still behind the McLaren. That could have been very bad. He's coming again. What's Perez going to do this time? Oh, Bean switches to the right hand side. Oh, there's huge contact, and Perez is shutting him off. Or I don't know whose bad that is, to be honest. And that is not what Bean would have wanted. And Bean has been so unlucky this evening around the streets of Albert Park, or the river of Albert Park I should say, and he has got to be livid inside that cockpit of a Red Bull.
Yep, he is having a really unlucky race. What I was talking about before, the action between Perez and Bean. Ricky lost 2 tenths on lap 18 and he lost 3 tenths on lap 19, but he is closing back in by 2 tenths on this lap. So is this the point where the hards are going to be quicker than the mediums? And I can see that Timmy has got 100% wing damage on the right hand side, so something must have happened with the Ferrari drive, and I think Perez is getting past because of that.
Oh! More contact between Perez and another driver, and again it didn't look nice from my view. I don't know if you had a view. I
literally,
did not
because I saw
look
the
nice.
wing damage. I saw the wing damage. I switched back to the Ferrari, and then I saw the McLaren going down the inside, but I didn't see.
I can't get to Tom Robbo in time with the thing, but he's past Ricciardo. I tried to flick through a thing, and people complain that I switched for views so quickly, and that's why, because you missed stuff. Tom Robbo is now ahead of Ricciardo. Bean has retired in the pit lane. Do I feel sorry for him? Absolutely I do.
Yes, yeah, I can totally understand why he retired in the pits. He has been very unlucky, and I think probably the unluckiest driver on the grid so far. I think Tom made a really good call by overtaking Ricky now, because this is the point where the hards are going to be quicker than the mediums, and before Ricky will get DRS from the back of Snipes, Tom made his move, because otherwise he will be stuck in that same DRS train that he was before the pit stops. Now he is in front of Ricky, and as soon as he's in within that 1 second window of Snipes, he will be in the prime position to take P1 back in this race.
I still have a feeling you might be right with the the medium compound slipping off. We've seen it at other tracks where it looks like the imminent decision is correct, and then towards the end of the race they just degrade and degrade. Oh, Tom getting very snappy. I think we have the same who was on board with the AlphaTauri, and that will not just have our hearts going, that'll have his hearts going. Hearts? He hasn't got more than one, but his heart will be going too.
Yeah, I'm looking at the tire wear now, and we definitely reached the point where Ray Snipes has got more tire wear than Tom, and he's on the same amount of tire wear as Ricky. So I think after 2 or 3 more laps we will be seeing these two guys closing back into that Ferrari in front. 2.4 it is now. Tom, he overtook Ricky when the gap was 2 seconds. Yeah, so he lost 4 tenths over the last 2 laps. So yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, apparently I've been saying Spygate, and I'll tell you why. I commentate over a guy called Spygate, and I thought it was Spygate. Here comes Perez driving outside of a high speed chicane! More contact! He turned into the car, and he's slipping! And a lot of the chat was nearly screaming karma, because the chat's getting very angry at the moment. I'm just reading it in the corner of my eye, my peripheral vision. And Perez nearly slipping of a high-speed chicane. He just turned into a mare. Like he can't do that.
It's also Kelseswijk voting for his own petition. That's very interesting as well.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know if that's legal, but we just allow it for
Probably
now.
not. Yeah. You might as well set up a GoFundMe.
yeah, Perez picks up 3 seconds in the process as well. It's like he's doing a challenge by trying to touch every single one he's overtaking. A racer is not having a good time with penalties either. I think that's his 3rd penalty already. So he will get 9 seconds added on to his name. And at this stage that will drop him outside of the points. So Lewis needs to push if he wants to have a chance of getting points in this race.
Yeah, just having a look at the last laps. Snipes was a 24-1. Tom Webber and Ricardo 24-4. Tom Webber's just picked up his 2nd warning just now. Just a big yellow flicker of the number 2 flicking up on Tass. You're great, both of you and Thomas. Ah, Blaze! Don't make me blush live on commentary. Honestly, I love Crofty, but I've been watching a lot of Alex Jakes in Formula 2, and he is superb. So I've been listening to him a bit and learning some of his techniques, and he is unreal. Alex Jakes, what a commentator. And Thomas is unreal as well. Just saying.
Yeah, it's Milan saying, tell Thomas to stop saying Ray Snipes. But you know what the thing is? I've been commentating on Snipes last season when it was still Ray Snipes. So I've been saying that name for 20 races, 20 weeks in a row. Like,
it's a long season, wasn't it?
Race. Yeah. And because he's been at the top for pretty much every single race, I've commentated and I've said his name like 20 times a race. So that's why it's still in my head. I'm trying to not saying it, but it's hard, man. It's hard when once it's in there, it's hard to get it out.
Medium percentage, 51% highest on the rear left. Hards, 44%, 49 for Ricciardo. So Ricciardo either setup based, or he's trying to keep up as much as he can, or not enjoying the hards. Tom Robbo has set the quickest... No, it's a lie. What isn't a lie is apparently Tom Robbo set 6 steps quicker at the end of last lap, but the gap has decreased from 2.4 to 1.6 in 2 laps. When we cross the line, we will have 5 laps of racing to go. Can Tom Robbo get him that DRS detection? Can he challenge for Ferrari? Can he put him under pressure? They're both on 2 warnings. The next person to get a penalty will probably finish 3rd. rather than first. So it's getting pretty tense up there. It's also getting tense between Matty, Robbo and Racer, who are going wheel to wheel through 14. Racer has got to be careful, and Matty gives him good room. Racer does the good thing to back off, or that would have ended in his racing point, and maybe the Williams having a spin.
Yep, good clean driving from both of them. They know how to play respect on track. It's either Tom finding something on his car that is giving him the space, or it's in fact the mediums dropping off, because Ricky is, like you said before, he's dropping off as well. So I believe it's a mixture of both. Tom finding a different gear and Snipes dropping off pace because Ricky can't keep up.
There you go. I've also noticed Jamie has caught up to Kraft. Albeit he has a penalty, but if he gets past and can maybe pull away, you never know. 13 laps of mediums, and we'll keep on board with it, that's for sure. The gap between the top two, 1.7. Ricciardo is exactly the same distance. Just behind in third place, still hunting for 15 points. The fastest lap was Stumpy. It's now his, I was going to say his teammate, but Alfa Romeo and Ferrari. They're close colours, but they're not quite. 21.547. So no one in the top 10 is getting the fastest lap at the minute, because Tichy, sorry, not Tichy, he's out of a race. Timmy has stole it.
It was Snipes getting DRS from Wizard, his car being still on track, so he gained 2/10 because of that. Yeah, Tom is in a really tough position now, because he needs to push to keep the pressure on Snipes to maybe let
here comes
Snipes
a P4
fall into a
battle.
mistake.
Mercedes versus Renault power. Round the outside, good racing from the pair of them. Has the Mercedes got the edge? They're still going wheel to wheel, and the Mercedes has a slip, and he has to try again in a lap time or both. Good racing from the pair. Jamie getting a little bit unlucky with that spin.
Jamie almost got the move done, but yeah, Tom, he needs to push to keep the pressure on Snipes, but he can't afford to pick up a warning, because that will give him his final warning and a 3 seconds added on to his time. So he needs to be careful what he needs to push.
Ricciardo's just made a mistake, I think, because he's just lost a second.
Yep, 2.7 it is now to Tom. Ricky is struggling.
He's lost a second in one corner. Doesn't mean he lost a second in that corner alone. It could mean, you know, you lose 6 tenths of a second and then you carry that low speed all the way down. Don't know where it happened, but he's lost time. If Tom was to get a penalty though, you'd still think he'd finish behind Ricciardo if he can keep within that 3 seconds. And the problem with Jamie is, if he would have got past Kraft last lap, he would have had 3 full laps to try and pull away from 3 seconds. He clearly is racing quicker than Moreno at the moment, but he can't get past, and he has that penalty. What's the penalty? I believe it's... oh, it's 6 seconds as well, so Perez would get past him. Here he comes, a lap later. Same corner though, and he's going to try and go round the outside to take the inside. Now, can he keep it this time? He goes a little bit wider, and the Renault has to go off track, and he is ahead of Kraft. But can he pull away now? Perez is getting involved in his McLaren. And we'll keep on board with it for now. Tom Robber 1.5. Thomas, it's not going to be enough, is it? Just about.
Oh, Perez was trying to do a Snipes with using ERS, but he couldn't quite get the job done. I love the... ooh, Perez, you almost lost it.
2 O's, not 1 O.
He was a little bit slippy on the exit, but he gets the job done. Yeah, Arbar is... I love the fact, by the way, you call him Kraft. I really like that. I used to call him Arbar, but...
it's got to be Kraft.
Either way, yeah, you absolutely love to see it, mate. But yeah, Arbar, he is in a bad position because Perez is touching everyone he's overtaking. So Arbar needs to watch out.
I mean, say it like it is. Yeah, no, us too. We don't care. We just say what we think. So, lap 29, Tom Robbo 1.3. It's not going to be enough, is it? It's not going to be enough. Even if he did get in DRS, he'd need probably a couple more laps. But he's trying. He's trying with all his might, and I'm sure Perez is trying his best to get past. Excuse me, got hiccups from drinking Ribena through the commentary. You know what I mean? Got to drink that. You got to keep hydrated. Matrix a racer. Someone's off a track. And, oh, he nearly clipped the back of the EU3 commentator's rear end as well. But he didn't. And there's a yellow flag. It's an AlphaTauri. It's Tom Robbo!
Robbo!
It is Tom Robbo. The man in second place. He's got wind damage as well, but he's going to have to carry. He's a good job. He's got a 15-second gap to the car behind. But the man in second place, he's now probably going to finish third, Mr. Thomas.
Like the scenes. I switched to Race and Matrix when it happened. Then I switched to Paris, and because I switched to those two, Paris lost it on exit, and then suddenly Tom was facing the wrong way. I literally missed every single bit. But yeah, Tom is in a really bad place now, because look at Jamie and look at Arbar.
Oh, wow.
They are getting close together with
Wait,
Paris,
how have he...
3 guys.
How have he gained that much? Wait, was I reading the interval wrong? Maybe I was reading the interval wrong, because... Well, he didn't spin that bad. Perez, yeah?
Look at Perez, yep, he's going round the outside. Don't make contact, don't make contact, don't make contact. They made contact!
Oh, they have made contact! I screamed because I knew something was going to happen. And Perez is off a track. Jamie is ahead of Tom Robbo. He's really struggling. I don't care about the voice break. Tom Robbo is in huge trouble here. Super trouble. He's got major wind damage. He's gone off the track. The only thing that might save him is for penalty. He can only take turn 5 at 120 miles an hour on the final lap of Australia. And it's all gone wrong for the AlphaTauri. He can't even turn. He's got more damage than I even thought he has.
He's got, yeah, it's only on the left-hand side, but it's causing him so much trouble. It's now Amir getting past. It's Wijzerboy and
Oh, he's in super trouble. He can't even do turn 10, and it's not even a 20-degree corner. Oh dearie me, Tom Robbo is in super trouble, and he knows it. Here comes Wijzerboy and the racing boy behind him, and now he collides into him. Coming through the chicane. Gorbo is time to win very well the Australian Grand Prix on the correct strategy, and Ricciardo is going to cross, but more importantly is this AlphaTauri. How far is he going to drop? He's got Perez and Matti. He's got the hardest part of a track to defend. And this is going to... Here comes Perez. He's going to dive down the inside. And he's going to block off Tom even more. And that's exactly what he didn't need, because Matti has gone past as well. How bad is this going to be? He was P2. Where in the world is he going to finish? P7! That is absolutely heart-wrenching for a guy who has raced so well over 40 so minutes, has gone from 18 points to 6, and he's immediately left the session.
Yeah.
And I would have done exactly the same. That is heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
Because that right there is championship changing stuff with such a short calendar. Wow.
Definitely with rivals like Snipes and Ricky, we saw it once again this week. Those guys are not making mistakes. They are on the podium pretty much every single week, and these points he lost here today can cost him at the end of the season after 5 weeks.
Wow. Drama at the end of the race. I had no safety cars or VSCs. And Snipes doing a moonwalk, which he probably can't do as his podium celebration. If you can moonwalk in racing boots, then fair play to you for what we take. I mean, that is...
I'm like still shocked about what I saw on the last 2 laps.
Look how quick that race was. 41 minutes. I mean, that is incredibly quick. Timmy gets the fastest lap, but of course he was out of a point, so he doesn't get it. 5th to 3rd for Kraft. He gets on the podium at the end. Only gets on the podium by 7.5, 3/4 of a second. Jamie gets 4th place, well done. Amir from 10th in qualifying gets 5th. It's a good result for the Haas driver. 3 seconds behind Wiseyboy in the racing point. 18th to 8th for Perez. But I feel he may have a few incidents against him. Matti Robbo gets 9th place, 34.7 behind leader, and a second behind Matti Matrix gets into the points racer just out. Tom Robbo from 2nd on lap 29. Out of 29, drops to 7th place. And it is now time before we get the thoughts of Thomas at the end, to get the podium in.
Yeah, I've already invited her to the party. So
oh, fabulous. Thank you so much.
Should be joining. There we have Ricky already.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, we have Craft, as you calling him. I still love that. And Stozen as well.
I have my ways.
Love to see it.
We'll get the Ferrari car on the showroom.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I think I've just lost a pound of sweat.
Who we're waiting for, Thomas?
We got everyone in.
Oh, you wait for me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to go first, Thomas, if you ask 2 questions, I'll ask 2. Just like me and Jack do, and then...
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Well, we start off with Arbor.
Hello.
Hello, mate. Yeah, what a last lap it must have been for you. First of all, you got Jamie overtaking you. You knew he had more penalties, so it was just a case of you trying to keep up with him, not losing that 3-second window. But then you saw Tom Robbo with the yellow flag. What went through your mind at the point you saw him spinning and facing the wrong way?
Dude, there was just so much adrenaline going. I had no idea what was going on. Jamie got by me and I was trying to keep the gap, and then I got 3 seconds and then come together with Perez, but then Thomas spun or some shit. I have no idea. I don't know. It was a really scrappy last 2 laps, so I'm just glad to get the result I did.
Yeah, you picked up only 3 seconds. How hard is it around this track to not pick up any penalties?
Oh, it's almost impossible. Like a few times I lost so much time just because I was going wide and had to correct in the first stint. I went 4 wheels on the grass, and you know, it's really hard, and I'm pretty penalty prone, so yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, you kept it clean. You did a really job. Really well done, mate.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, well done, Kraft. I've never interviewed you before. People call you Arbar, apparently, but we'll go with Kraft because it sounds cool. You talked about adrenaline. Does that help you as a driver personally, or does it restrict you in certain ways?
Definitely more on the restrict side, because when I get in those stressful situations, like when Jamie went by me and we kind of touched and I went wide, and then Perez was right on me. I left it in rich for the last like half of the lap, and I was quite down on fuel. So the whole fight with Perez, I was trying to burn my ERS while keeping it in lean. So kind of distracts me from what I need to like manage, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Was you happy with your strategy call tonight?
Yeah, you know, I thought I was gonna go soft mediums, but I had a quick talk with Matrix and we decided on the soft hard, and I mean it went as well as it could have, I think.
Good. And Austria next week. How do you feel about Austria?
I crashed a lot at Austria, so I'm not looking forward to it.
Alright, man. Well done on the podium. 15 points. Great effort. And we shall see you in the Styrian Hills of Austria next week.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
Going on to Ricky. Good to be interviewing you once again, mate. I'm not gonna lie, I missed it. Well done. P2 it is. Well, first of all, let's go to the beginning of the race, because you opted to go for the undercut. Was that the plan all the way at the beginning of the race, or was that because you just couldn't get past Snipes?
No, I practiced lap 7. Tyres were generally around 50%, and I felt like there was a drop off after that. I didn't consider the soft to medium, and I think all 3 of us had very similar pace. I mean, if you consider Snipes was on the medium tyre, he didn't really get away too far. And then the tyre was coming back to us. But I thought the undercut might be a bit more powerful than that. But Snipes clearly had plenty of tyre left. Sorry to see Tom Robbo go at that turn 9, because he drove a great race. I made plenty of mistakes in the race, and I half spun. I don't know if it was seen on stream, but coming out of turn 1, I had my ERS open, and I half spun and saved the car, hit the wall, but I hit it equally, so there was no damage.
Wow.
Ooh, got lucky with
And
that one.
that's how I fell behind Tom Robbo out of the 1 second. So at that point, it was settled for third, really, because you need DRS around here, especially with these guys when you're on similar pace. Yeah, good result, I guess. I would have settled for a podium, so yeah, job done.
Yeah, because what was the reason for you losing the car? Was it just because of the tires, or were you pushing that much to stay with Tom that he caused you going into a mistake, forcing you into a mistake?
I made a few mistakes. Going into turn 3, I locked up, and that's how Tom Robbo was able to get down the inside. But before that, I don't know if it was on stream. Snipes got me at the beginning of turn 8, and the reason for that is I was inside the ghosted car. I couldn't see Snipes to my right, so I completely missed my braking point. Yeah, so I'm not saying I wouldn't have kept him behind because he had the quicker tyre at that point, but I certainly would have put up a fight because I knew that the tyre would come to me at the end of the race. But it is what it is, and Snipes fully deserves the victory. I think it was a really decent race between the three of us.
It really was. It really was, mate. Congratulations on the P2.
Cheers, cheers.
Well done, Ricky. Nice to speak to you. Of course, we my voice has gone after that last lap. You want to watch that on stream? Honestly, it was crazy. I'm just having a look at some stats, Ricky, on the task system. You know, 1,627 gear shifts. You do manual gears, right?
Yeah.
An average speed of 17 kilometers less than qualifying for amazing. 41 minutes of Albert Park. Ricky, you three, including Tom Robbo, of course, at the top of the championship. Not many races to go. How do you think you can do in terms of can you win it, first of all? And secondly, how are you going to get the edge on these two? Because it is extremely close at the minute.
Well, I don't. I simply don't. I don't believe I have the pace of the two. I think they just have more raw speed. I think I have the consistency and the racecraft side of it. But I think in terms of raw speed, I'm not there. And these guys seem to deliver it in qualifying and in the race. And I'm just a little bit below that level in terms of the whole qualifying race. But when I do hook up a qualifying, watch out, because of course I can be in the mix. Like today, you know, like being third in the championship, I didn't expect it. Obviously Milan, Yorno, I put myself in behind these guys, so to be up in third is, yeah, I'm doing much better than I thought I would.
Yeah, I mean, you give us some great entertainment. And if I could ask you, what was your favourite thing and worst thing, not counting that spin that you had, about today's race, what would you say?
I would say being ghosted in Wizard's car, because I just completely lost the momentum going up, down. As you know, you need as much speed as you can going up, down towards that chicane, and I feel like that helped put Tom Robbo on the back of me and put me under pressure, and that would be my worst. My best thing would probably be just to actually be amongst these guys week to week. They are the two people who are constantly at the top. So for me to be up there on pace, generally on pace, I think is a good race for me. Good qualifying race. So yeah, happy with that.
And finally, Austria next week. What are your opinions? What is your pace performance? And what can Dan and Joe, when they're back in the commentary box, expect?
Nah, it's a weak track for me. It's not a track you need to be specifically good at to be quick, I think. Yeah, I'm not expecting too much, to be honest. I still expect a top 6, top 7. But you never know if it rains, because rain could definitely happen there.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can.
Especially when you put it on custom.
Oh, well, yeah, you know. That's what we do in endurance, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Ricky, well done, sir. Obviously, bumps up one with Tom Robbo's absence. Or was you up one anyway? Wait, let me... You were second, right? You was legit second. Or was you third? You was behind Tom, wasn't you?
Yeah, Tom most of me.
So bumped up one, an extra 3 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you, sir. Pleasure.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, thank you.
Well done.
And going on to our race winner, Snipes, first of all, congratulations, brilliant victory, really well driven. You opted to go for the soft medium. Was that the plan from the beginning of the race, or did you decide that because you saw Ricky and Tom going in early?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Yes, it was already the plan to go soft for mediums because Poland said it was the best strategy, so I just went for it, and it worked out very well.
Yeah, it really did. How hard was it, or how big was the pressure from Tom Rowe behind? Because you got past Ricky, you pulled away by 2.4 seconds, and he slowly started to close in 10th by 10th by 10th every single lap. Were you feeling the pressure, or were you feeling quite confident?
I was feeling quite confident because he was gaining because I was just looking for my tires. If I wanted to push, I think I would pull away again because they were like on 60% and they were still going green if I wanted to push, so I didn't feel that much pressure, to be honest.
Fair enough, mate.
Mr. Snipes, well done. I mean, that is a solid result, a solid strategy. I'd have done the same. Not that I'm a pro racer, but I always like a good soft to medium on Aussie. How difficult is it to take the softs and the mediums that extra percentage? So instead of hitting the 60s, we're now hitting the 70s and going out of the low speed exits really badly. How difficult is it to drive at those high percentages?
Yeah, to be honest, it isn't that hard. The tires aren't going that off, you know. The tires feel pretty good. It's like you don't have understeer or oversteer. They're just the same, but yeah, they feel pretty good.
Fair enough. What wings were you running this evening, may I ask?
3.9 or something. I don't know.
Wow,
I don't
3.9.
remember.
Nice. I'm going to ask the same question to you as I did to Ricky. What was your best part of the race for you personally, and what was the worst or scariest?
With qualifying or without?
Without the race. What
Okay.
happened in quali? Did you have an incident?
Yeah, I spun at the last corner.
Oh, did we see it? Oh yeah, well, of course we did. It was a main moment. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, apart from that, because that was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the best part of the race for me and the championship was that Tom Robo spun, and I think like for the race itself, the racing, yeah, the overtakes only. And the worst part was stressing about the tires because they were like on 71%, just hoping they weren't blow up.
This might be a weird question, but do you feel bad when another rival spins on the final lap, or are you just like, thanks very much?
Both sides. I think you feel very bad because you see the driver doing his best and he just spins, and yeah, it's unfortunate, but like it happens. It's good for me because I gain points, but you always want to have a championship fight, so yeah, I think I feel bad pretty much.
Fair enough. And Austria, Mr. Snipes, how is that for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think my quali pace is always better, but on Austria it's always way better than the race pace.
And if you keep it up, will we be seeing you in EU1 next season?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was confident. Yeah. Snipes, victory, 25 points, fully deserved, great strategy, well done my friend.
Thank you.
Thomas.
Yes, that rounds off the stream. I really enjoyed this one. Thank you for having me in the commentary box, or at least it was a pleasure doing it with you
Thank
once
you for
again.
having me, I guess. Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah,
just
no
took
worries,
over
no
Dan and
worries.
Joe.
Congratulations once again to the podium. Really well driven by Ray Snipes. Really good win. Ricky with a really good P2 and Arbor with a very intense P3 on the last lap. Really well on to all of you guys and the rest for finishing in the points. You made it a really interesting race.
Yeah, it was entertaining without Burnt My Lander driving his car. And we saw Ray Snipes have that awesome spin in qualifying, which was probably one of the moments of the night. And then the Alpha Tauri of Tom on the final lap, guaranteed 18 points, second place. I didn't see the incident, but he dropped all the way down to 7th, and that might be an early bed because I would be fuming as well. Thank you for joining us in the chat. I think we hit like 55, 56, which is excellent. It's been a pleasure commentating EU2 with this man next to me. Well, he's not sat next to me, but you know what I mean. And we have EU1 tomorrow, and that is gonna be tasty. And then we have AM2 tonight, I think. Yeah. And then we have Endurance Monza Friday, Saturday. Should have a full grid confirmed as usual. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for podiums, drivers, interviews. And that's it. We're off air. We'll see you when COS Formula 1 returns.